Hello friends, welcome to TechNoise channel. Today we'll discuss about form elements. For example, input text board, textarea, radio buttons, checkbox, how to handle it, what kind of utilities, functionalities provided by this Vue framework. So these form elements are quite everywhere. You can't design any web applications or any mobile applications using that. Okay, so I'm using Visual Studio Code as my code editor. In the right hand side you can see the HTML, and in the left hand side you can see me writing the JavaScript code. And this is it. I have written small style sheet, and this is my trimmed down version of Google Chrome. But I don't want too much clutter, like for example the address bar, other things, so I have simplified it. And this is the inspector. Here if I use any console.log, it will be get printed, and also I can access this element whichever is created. Okay, so I have created a if you watch my previous tutorial, I given very basic introductions how you can about different things, so I'll continue from there, so you can watch my previous videos. So let me define a input element. Input type text is quite common. Okay, so let's save it, reload it. Okay, so this is the name. So we can define a variable, or we can bind this particular input text element with some variable. For example, we can use VModel, okay, is equal to name. So already I have explained in the two-way data binding. So John, because here we have populated, so it is also coming over here. So if you change anything, so this particular thing, whatever is binded, is also getting populated. But for example, if you don't define over here and try to change, this won't get reflected. So that you have to define is a name. Even empty element should surface. Then if you load it, hello there, okay, you can give some name. So we have to define the variable. So this is the way we can define any input type text. Also we can associate this VModel with textarea. For example, we can create textarea VModel. Maybe we can give address. Okay, let's see, is it coming properly? Okay, so address is not defined because we haven't defined it, so let us define it. Okay, again let me give this empty. Okay, there is no error in the console. So I think input we have explained. Let us thing is, and if I want to print over here, I can just do it. Reload this page. Elizabeth Street. Okay, we can change the H1 to H2 as per our convenience. So this is the text area. Here also we can use VModel. But the one important thing to remember, that we have to define the variable. Okay, so we have discussed about input tag and text areas. This is quite simple, right? And let me create one checkbox. This is also using this VModel is used to define the variable and associate with the data. Okay, so input type checkbox VModel is equal to checked. Okay, so let me reload. Again, this checked variable is not defined, so let me define it this. Let me try with null. It is actually boolean. Okay, that's fine. So here let me give checked. Okay, true, false, true, false. So we can default it to false or true. I just want trying to see that whether it is taking it or not. So we can define as a null or, you know. So if you click this checkbox, so true or false is coming over here. We can use anywhere wherever we like. Okay, and based on this checkbox, we can display whatever maybe. So we can write one computed properties and you know, we can play around. But I won't get into that details. So let me show some other example. Okay. So also this checkbox, we can define multiple variables. Okay. So for example, we can, you know, selected cities. Okay. Or we can say this is an array. So we created a variable selected cities, which is of type array. So let me print over here and let me define those variables. So this is currently empty, so this is a null is coming because I haven't given any value. So in this input I can define some value, New York. Okay, so I can create any tag over here. So here I can just put display purpose, I can just put the city name, or I can create some label tag or whatever maybe. So that is the CSS part. Maybe I can I'm planning to create some other tutorial for that. New Delhi. So just let me change New Delhi. Okay, so I have two cities, one is New York and another one is New Delhi. Both are associated with this select cities variable, and I'm trying to print over here, and this is of type array. Let me reload this page. I hope I saved it. Okay, now reload. So if I click the New York, the data will be populated over here. If I uncheck it, so it will go on. Let me create New York. If I click New Delhi, so this will be also added. So I can just get rid of it or add it. So we can, you know, select multiple cities inside an array. And once you click the button, you can take this variable and whatever you like to do, you can do it. Right? You can send it to the server that you selected to user. So any operation you would like to perform, you can do that. And similarly, I think we have discussed two type of checkbox. Now let me create one radio type, which is also exactly same. Okay, so let me create input. Okay, type is radio. Let me give mail input. Okay, okay, I have created a radio button. Okay, male, female. This is working. Both are getting selected. So what I would like to do, I'll assign, VModel over here. VModel. Let me copy over here to the second element. I define the variable. If you notice, if I reload the space, right, it will say this variable is not defined. So let me define this variable. So just empty variables would be enough. Okay, let me change it to x. Okay, so I think we define the variable. Now let us specify the value. Okay, so here again I can give male, and let me define this value over here, because this is what we would like to save inside the variable female. Okay, now let me reload it. Okay, male, female. So if you select male, this value whatever we write right here will be get stored inside this variable, and if we click female, male. So this is a simple demonstration of a radio button. Now let us try to create a combo box. So here again we'll come to the city example. City. Let us define the variable from beginning this time, and we have to write simple HTML code, and inside we can have New York, Chicago, Mumbai. So I define three combo box. So if I choose over here New York, Mumbai, Chicago is coming up. The city is not getting reflected because I haven't assigned it. So what I can do, VModel, this is the variable defined way, is equal to city. If you see here, a lot of boilerplate code. This seems to be very tribal, simple. But earlier we used to write on handler, and we have to write some JavaScript code to fetch the information which is selected. A lot of stuff we have to write even in jQuery. But only by specifying this VModel, even though you may feel that we are keep on writing everywhere wherever we find the place, but this is doing all the magic. We don't need to write a lot of code, right? So I just define the V city, and I am changing it to Chicago to New York, and this is getting reflected. And this is stored in city. So if I submit a form, so I am pretty much be ensured that this will be there, and we can do whatever we like to do. Okay, and let's say if you want to select multiple, you just have to assign it to array. And here you just simple, just type this multiple. Okay, basically this is not anything GUI thing you have to do. You have to just write multiple. This is a simple HTML. So 1, 2, 1. Okay, I think this is 1 was selected. Because I have to, I think, press Control. Yeah. I have to press Control and select 3. 1, get rid of it. Okay, if I keep 1 selecting another thing, it is 1 is going away. No issue. So if you press Control and you can select multiple, usually I hardly do this multi-selection. But you learn how to do select, combo box, right? I think today it should be enough. We have discussed the input and textarea, checkbox, radio buttons, select, and I'll try to how we can generate using this for loop. We can bind these values. So I will create some other tutorials. So explain a little bit intermediate concept of form elements. So hope you enjoy this tutorial. So you can go and watch my previous tutorial. And if you like it, kindly like my videos in below, and you can subscribe to it so that you will get updated about my new videos. And please spread this word to Twitter, Facebook, or wherever you may be, so it will give me motivation and help me grow my channel. Thanks very much again. Have a wonderful day ahead. Bye bye.